on? It's the Objective Jerk. And I am said jerk. What's up? What's up, what's up, what's up? Oh man, did another ride today. It's really nice. Get up early. Pick up my sister's uncle like at 6. And we head out to the trail. Takes like 15, he timed it this time, 15, 18 minutes. Less than 20 to get up the trail. And then we ride down in like 3 to 4 minutes. And then you get home. It's just like a quick, it's a good, it's exercise. You have to exercise. Everybody has to exercise. There's got to be something to get your blood pumping, get your heart rate up a little bit. You have to find that thing, that one thing. And for me, it's mountain biking. I don't like running. I like the way I feel after I run, or I like the way I feel after the gym. But I don't really enjoy the gym. I mean, a little, but not really. I was wanting to kind of try boxing and try some stuff, but it's just meeting up with somebody or finding one that was close by. And I don't know. I still will. I think I'll still do it. But for me, it's mountain biking. I enjoy it. Even when it sucks, I enjoy it. You know what I mean? So I think that's what you got to do. I have fun, and I was talking with my in-law uncle, my Tito, and he speaks English, but it's not our conversations are not that smooth. You know what I mean? Like his friend, who's now my friend, who's my godfather, I can talk to him a little. It's a little smoother. You know what I mean? Like they understand exactly what I'm saying, and so it's just a little rougher for him, but it's fine. We like getting up early and we like riding that trail. So, but we ride up and we get to the top and then we'll stop for a minute and we'll bullshit, and we were talking about the bikes that we started on when we started mountain biking, and so he's 64, 63, 64. So, but he's a Gen X too. So we're both Gen X, which is weird, but he's at the very beginning of it and I'm closer to the end of the generation. But he started on the same kind of bike that I did, and we were talking about, so there's this YouTube. Oh, I was going to look that up. There's this YouTube, or this documentary it's on YouTube. And it's basically about the history of mountain biking. Now, it wasn't just one particular group. There was, like, this group that it focuses on is in Colorado in the 70s. There were some other people in England and stuff. So other people were kind of starting to do it too. But these guys got together and they would build their bikes and they would have these events and everything. And they got a lot of people involved. And so they're looked at as like the grandfathers of mountain biking, And they just had regular, there was no aggressive off-road tires back then for bikes. And, it was just insane. But, so when I started riding, my first bike was a Scott bike. And it was no shocks, hardtail, what do they call it? Stiff fork, or what do they call it? I forget. The brakes were those little pads that would break on the rim of the wheel. And I used to take that thing riding. This is the late 90s. And it's rough, man. It's like, but it was fun, It was still fun. So it's like, and now you have all this technology and all these upgrades and it makes it so much smoother, You go down the trail fast. The shocks help. If I had a full suspension, it'd be a little bit softer. But when I ride, I don't sit down anyway. I mean, I guess maybe it would still help. But I don't know. I think full suspension is more for when you're kind of going uphill. Or if you're just kind of riding and it kind of helps with your, your back or something. Which I do have lower lumbar disc disease. So if I ride for a long time, it does start to kind of hurt me. You know what's weird? The thing that really messes with my back, that like the most mundane daily thing, is washing dishes. if I'm washing dishes for more than like 10 minutes, man, my lower back just starts killing me. I don't know if it's like the angle of the sink, the counter, or whatever. I don't know. So I have to like spread my legs to kind of lower myself, or I take a break. So I'll do all the plates and bowls and stuff, and then I'll take a little break, come back, do all the glasses and some whatever, and then come back and then do all the utensils and spatulas and silverware and everything. I don't know what that is, but that's just whenever I remodel my kitchen, I need to think about raising the height of the counter a little bit, so you're not bending over so much, into the sink and everything. But yeah, so mountain biking, that's my jam. That's my thing. I'm not like a huge nut. I'm not a huge nut about anything. I like lots of stuff. But I do, I used to go riding every weekend for a while back in the day. Enjoyed it immensely. But I never really rode like good single aggressive trails until I came here to the Philippines. I mean, occasionally maybe, but no, that trail in Washington was pretty aggressive. I mean, I wrecked so much because the brakes just wouldn't work. When it's wet, they don't work for shit. And I remember just going down and hitting, dude, I wrecked so many times. Was wearing a helmet, I think. Gosh, I don't remember. I think we were wearing helmets. Pretty sure. I remember being a kid and it's like wearing a bike helmet, just riding your bike was like, gay. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't know. You didn't want to. But, yeah, mountain biking though. They have a helmet now. I saw this, which is really cool, that is connected to your phone, and if the helmet gets a substantial amount of impact, it will send a signal to the phone, which will send an alert to your spouse or whoever saying so-and-so's helmet had a major impact. So then he might be down and out. You know what I mean? So then they could like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Text or whatever. And so that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? So if like you wreck real bad and then you're unconscious, at least they kind of know something's wrong, and then they'll go to the trail and find you. So that's kind of neat. See, I'm not all like anti-tech with everything. There's some things I think if it really, really can help and really, but some things I think it's too much. Like the wireless Bluetooth braking and shifting, or I don't know if it's braking. I think it's just a shifter. So it's a wireless. You click it and it shifts it for you. I'm just like, man, how long is that going to last? I got a stereo, a little boombox, JBL, JLB, or whatever they are, that when I first got it, it would last like 3 hours unplugged on a charge. Now it lasts like 2 minutes. It can't work unless it's plugged in. So I just, I'm like, same thing with those. Like, how long are those going to last? Yeah, maybe they last a while, but then after a year, it's like, crap, man. After I ride for a half hour, they stop working and I got to change the batteries, or I don't know. I don't like all that crap. It's like, let's keep it stupid, or KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. It's a great acronym. I live by it. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep getting some alerts or something. What's going on? Anyway. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I don't think I posted my last podcast on the video. I got to do that. I got to make sure I do that. But I don't know. So that's kind of all that's going on with me. I was going to kind of read over some news. So yeah, so the thing that's kind of like with political wise, Trump and all these judges trying to stop shit, it's like, yo, fuckface. This is what the majority of the country voted for. He's doing his job. He's doing what we voted for. Get the fuck out of the way. It's fucking annoying. Stupid ass liberals. Let's see. I'm just kind of looking at some headlines, seeing if there's something. Causes a Columbia student who praised Mahmoud Khalil arrest and I don't know what the hell that is. Op-ed received death threats. These people are ridiculous. the WSJ. What is that? That's some journal. It's like a magazine or something. I can't think of what it is. Let me see what's going on. Okay. AOC Waltz. These nuts are featured. Yeah. Dude, why is Tim Waltz? Get the fuck out of here, dude. You're a retarded cuck liar, man. He got busted lying so many times, and he's just a psycho. Dude, it's totally happening. See, they have AOC. They have all these retarded liberals that are just deranged. And then the other Democrats are going to separate from them. That's what's going on right now. They're going to separate and they're going to start a new party. That's what's going to happen. And then the Democrats are going to be like retards, and just like how you got, I said it before, Republican and MAGA. I mean, it's not official, but it's kind of what it is, right? So now you're going to have Democrat and something. Something's going to come out of it. I know that. Like, I heard something about, like, Blue Tea Party or something. I don't know. I think they're trying to find somebody like a Trump, but for the Democrat side. But they don't have anybody, you know? I don't know. It's crazy. In the dark. Inside Antarctica's base, near constant darkness and extreme isolation that drove researcher mad in real-life horror movie? What is this? I'm going to read this. That sounds interesting. Scientists who just returned from Antarctic say... Oh, it's a video? Oh, no, it's an article. Okay, cool. Let's see. Come on. Stupid ads. All right. Scientists who just returned from Antarctic SANAE, S-A-N-A-E, the acronym for base where assault occurred, reveals harrowing details of living in extreme isolation. Dude, that's like the movie with Jack Nicholson and The Shining, you know, remember where they're like isolated in that hotel? A scientist who just returned from the remote Antarctica base where a crew member reportedly snapped and threatened to kill the team leader. Okay, how many times have you been pissed off and been like, I'll fucking kill you? You know? I don't know. Let's see. Has opened up about the extreme, unpredictable environment on the frozen continent that can push many to their mental limits. Dr. Herman van Neerkerk, a geologist at the University of Johannesburg, had just come back from a 2-month expedition, the Antarctic base, where a South African team of scientists have pleaded for help following the deeply disturbing behavior of a crew member. The Antarctic is often romanticized, but when people realize that what's waiting for them, well, there's not a lot of people who feel they're up to it. I've taken students out there. Some of them just can't handle the isolation, the extreme and frightening weather conditions, the perspective you lose when you can't judge distance and wideness. For something like that, you have to be an introvert, like straight up. Introverts only. You know what I mean?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks again for listening to The Objective Jerk. I greatly appreciate it. If you could like, subscribe, comment on wherever you're finding this, and you can also email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. So hope you're enjoying it, and please continue on with the episode. In a situation described as a real-life horror movie, one of the 9 trapped crew members sent a desperate email about a coworker they said violently beat, threatened, and sexually harassed at least 2 others on the base. Well, that's not cool. They described their colleagues' descent into deeply disturbing behavior, saying it had created an environment of fear and intimidation. Again, those words and stuff kind of like, it gets thrown around a lot, and you have people who are just weak pussies. Oh my gosh, he looked at me weird. It was so threatening. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to really, I don't know. All crew members, I mean, you know, assaults and sexual harass, that's not cool. But this other stuff, it's kind of like, what exactly? I don't know. I don't know. All crew members undergo psychometric tests before heading to the base, but you just can't predict how this will affect people in reality when there's no life for miles. Despite close vetting, Van Neerkerk described the moment when one student freaked out. People only reveal who they are when they are exposed to extreme conditions, he said, describing how the students refused to leave their tent on the expedition while they were stranded some 124 miles. Huh. The crew stranded until at least December on the 97-built base, 2,500 miles from South Africa. Includes engineers, scientists, and a doctor, but no one to manage security. There's a doctor, mechanics, members of the South, but there's nobody in charge of security, no firearms or anything like that. Yeah, because you're all dumbass liberals. Because liberals don't think about that stuff. They don't think about safety and security. On top of the deathly cold, the temperature is plummeting to low -9. For March, the base will be almost complete darkness for the next 10 months. Now that would be crazy. When there's no daylight, you worry about people getting into different time cycle. When some people awake while everybody else is sleeping, it's an extremely difficult environment. Neerkerk has been taking teams of students out to the base for the past 3 years. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so is that all that happened, kind of, though? Projecting having relationships right down there. I kind of think it's fucking bullshit. So there's a team there. The assault of a team member. So they don't say who it is. You know who they won't say who it is? Because everybody on here is African, like actually black. There's one white chick. So it's like they're not going to say who it was. And I'm kind of thinking it's not, maybe they were having some drinks and the guy like smacked the girl's butt. That's sexual assault. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. I kind of think I think it's bunk. I don't think it's as severe as they're reporting. I would bet, if I was to guess. Yeah. Trump signs order to begin winding down education department. Yes. Yeah, come on. Education, the Department of Education started in the 70s, late 70s, mid 70s, whatever. And since then, America's gotten dumber. Test scores are down. People can't read. People can't do anything. So it's not doing what it was intended to do. Except now it just, brainwashes kids and crap. Face to face. Brian, who's this guy? Not a sign he's a killer. I don't even know who that is. Brian Coburg. Coburg, 28, raised the different. Saying that the PhD criminal student should be allowed to call expert witness. But he killed some people or something? I don't even know. I don't know. Let's see what else is going on. Where am I at? I gotta check my time. I'm still good for a couple minutes. Still has his vote. Trump supporter stands by president after ICE detains his Peruvian wife on return trip from honeymoon. Oh, shit. Well, they'll get it figured out. It'll be fine. That's funny, though. Let's see. Who's this? Moves to Love Boat. Giselle Bouchon. I never thought, I don't know. I didn't see what the big deal was about her. You know who I watched the documentary on Netflix, and when I was younger, I'm not like really into blondes, but there are some. But Anna Nicole Smith, when she first came out, I remember when I was younger, man, I thought she was so flipping hot. I mean, she was, but man, she had some issues. She had some baggage. Who else? Like, I'm not really into blondes. I've always been dark skin, dark hair. But every once in a while, there is a blonde that, like Scarlett Johansson's pretty good looking. She's blonde, I think, right? Kill shot. Troubled son admitted shooting retired detective father multiple times. Well, that's messed up. All right, let's see what this is about. How much time do I got? This will be it right here, probably, after this article. So, a troubled son admitted shooting retired detective father multiple times. Stupid ad. Before blow to finish him off. Before blow. Let's see. The troubled son accused of killing his retired detective dad inside and the microphone's in the way. Their Long Island home chillingly confessed to the grisly slaying, telling cops he blasted his father in the head to finish him off. Christopher Miller, 43, pleaded not guilty, for reasons of insanity, in a Suffolk County courtroom Thursday for allegedly shooting his dad, retired Suffolk County Police Department Detective John Miller, 75, during an argument inside their home. I mean, he admitted to it, so it's like for admitting, it's not allegedly. How's it allegedly if he admitted he did it? And there's a bunch of evidence that he did. When police questioned the younger Miller, he said he shot his father 4 times with a shotgun, before driving the point end of the weapon into his head to finish him off. Man, that must have been pretty gross. According to criminal complaint, the deadly clash unfolded inside the Dix Hills home hours after John Miller reported his son missing. Christopher Miller was hospitalized Monday after fighting with a motorist during a crash, and his father grew worried when he didn't hear from him, leading him to file a missing person report. The dad picked him up at the hospital Tuesday, and the accused psycho son, laid out a shotgun and AR-15 on his bed before opening fire hours later, prosecutors said in court. After the killing, Miller ran from the home and hid in the neighbor's shed. The eagle-eyed homeowner spotted him and called police. Cops then brought him to his home, where they discovered the former detective in a pool of blood and missing his face. I know it didn't say that, but 43-year-old who recently moved into his father's home after going through a divorce tried to run but was tackled by a cop, the outlet said. A bruised-up Miller ignored reporters as he was led to his arraignment Thursday morning. He pleaded not guilty to the murder charges and told Judge Eric so-and-so he wanted a different lawyer. Miller was held without bail. His appointed lawyer, Dan Russo, told reporters he's going through something traumatic outside the courthouse. I don't know if it's psychiatric or some other health concern, but he's definitely going through something. Police did not provide a motive for the patricide. The doomed dad, who worked 24 years with the Suffolk County Police Department and retired in 95, was also former chief of the Wyandotte Volunteer Fire Company. Ex-Chief Miller was a decorated Suffolk County Police Department. Okay. I mean, I don't want to, that seemed like a good guy. Was a pillar in his community, and his son. Did he get some? So I wonder what is said about. He went to the hospital after the motorist during a crash. I wonder if he hit his head, smacked his head, and it did something to it. Man, brain trauma can kind of affect you. I kind of sometimes think that maybe that was part of my. So I don't know. As a kid. My generation, man, we didn't wear helmets. We didn't care. We did stupid shit and got hurt and woke up and brushed it off, I remember riding roller skates in the driveway of my grandparents, and I totally went back, and I smacked the back of my head on the concrete. I don't know if I was out for a little bit or what, but I just remember that afterward, and I didn't say nothing. I didn't think, you know what I mean? But it's like that right there could have caused some sort of traumatic injury that, went on to give me depression problems or something. Who knows? And then plus I got blown up. That was a massive force. So my brain's all kinds of mush, probably. Maybe not, but who knows? Anyway, I think that's it. Appreciate you hanging out. Good times. God bless. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye. You just put yourself through another episode of The Objective Jerk. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Please email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, comment, wherever you find this, follow. It all helps. But thanks again, and I'll see you next time.